So Thunderbolts wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Thunderbolts was pretty heavy. And really, I just got out of the theater. There were quite a few moments where you're just really overcome with deep sadness. And I have to say that I can't say that I was expecting that. So the depth of emotion that you'll experience at times during the movie is quite profound. That said, some of the deficiencies in the actual movie were that it kind of gets off to a little bit of a slow start. And then some of the persistent issues currently with the MCU plague it at the beginning. At the beginning, some of the issues, sort of like plague it. I'm not going to do any major spoilers. I'll say that, Miss Dreyfus, and I'm mispronouncing her name, does a masterful job of really being an antagonist in the movie. And really, when I just think about it, and in some ways I'm speechless. So if I were to say, should you see it? I think it's okay. You should see it. Is it the best superhero movie ever? No. I'll have to say that it's much, much better than I thought it was going to be. So it's much, much better than that. I see it's, C plus range, C plus, B minus kind of range. And I'm not saying that in that it's terrible, because if it were terrible, I would just say it's terrible. But it does kind of get off sort of slowly. And, there are times where you're just kind of wondering where we're going with the script. But really the tail end of it is just pretty good, to be honest. But that's, the problem is that's 25 minutes, and you're in a movie that's almost 2 hours. So it's just one of these things. And then, of course, some of the standouts, of course, are Sebastian Stan is a standout. Florence Pugh is a standout. Harbor always does a good job. I don't know how I feel about his Russian accent, but, it is what it is. And, when I think of some of the other people, I think John Kamen, the English lady, did a great job, or British lady did a pretty good job. And yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of going through it. I don't really think it's I think it's safe to go ahead and see it. Yeah. And I think that's really the bulk of what I want to say regarding this flick. It did really have some very powerful stuff at the end, which kind of, when I was thinking about what I was going to say, I was really, really speechless. But the reason why I, of course, downgraded the score is that there were, unfortunately, vast swaths of the movie in the beginning, especially the first half an hour or so, that I was just kind of just moving a little bit too slowly. And I'll leave it there.